right now you abuse a girl, and then they'll find that they'll go to Buka Chimi, regardless he's sick, but at least he can tell a girl a very sweet word, and then
validate her beauty.
you
So
feel,
she finds
then
a
you
sense
feel
of belonging.
peace, a first sense of belonging, and so we should really learn to love. Also, you love up. We should. These things really look small, but they actually matter so much.
And also, the pace at which iPhone is releasing phones is worrying.
iPhone, no.
It's also contributing.
It's very worrying.
iPhone refuse. Parents, bring back Nokias.
All right, we're back in the show. It's the Kings and Queens Dirk once again. Yeah, it's your boy Kev Kelly. You know what it is. So we're here with the Kings and Queens in the building. All right, on my right side, I'm gonna have the beautiful queen in the house. I'm gonna have her introduce herself as usual.
Martha Chito, hi.
Is that all? No, other than the singular part.
No.
I am Martha singular.
I take it deliver mucho.
All right, let's submit it to the left side. The left side, I had the man with the drip, with the sir on his name, sir.
Yeah. Summer Wonder, sweet gangster, find the sweetness here.
Sweet gangster, huh?
Let's roll.
All right. On my other side, I got Buka in the house. I said I bring the Vuvuzela.
Yeah.
I'll bring it next
Feels
time.
weird to introduce myself because you already done that.
Okay, let's use this Vuvuzela.
Buka Chimi Mandem.
All right. Yeah, so we have our special talk today. Yeah, we're diving into something critical. Critical. When I said critical, I meant critical. Yeah. So there's a comment that was dropped in the Monitor, in the papers, and it was saying 70% of the young girls today have HIV/AIDS. Guys, what do you have to say about this? 70% of the young girls are the ones with HIV/AIDS. 70%. That's literally, let me see, 30% is remaining. That's way too high. 70% of the young girls. Where's our nation going?
This is really worrying because I remember back
It
in the
is.
days when we were growing up, there was pretty much sensitization about sex education. And
These
then-
days it's no longer there. Sex education ain't
yeah,
there
and
these
then
days.
There was an impact, like the numbers were going low. So it worries a lot that to the maximum now they're going high. We thought like we'd be killing it to the minimum level. So we need to question ourselves what's not going right.
And also adding on to what you've said, back in the days in the happening joints, there were free condoms. There were free condoms everywhere, but these days you literally see none.
So this takes us back to the ABCD method or what?
Okay. Do you really have to place the blame on the condoms?
Not really, but then you look at
These days boys and girls are just
these days,
ignorant.
When you look at our population, it's majorly taken up by the young people. Who are very vibrant and not exposed to a lot of sex educational material. So very exposed, but not exposed to the knowledge about sex. And also, these days people preach so much that AIDS is now weak. It can't kill instantly. There are tabs to swallow. So it feels like malaria.
There is this thing that has come up these days of how confident it actually brings confidence in one of the young youth, that pill that you take after you suspect someone has AIDS.
The PEP?
Yeah, the PEP.
And also remember back
I
in
feel
the
like the
days,
PEP has brought a lot of chaos in the country.
Of course, one knows they'll have live sex and they'll go swallow the pill.
Yeah.
And they'll feel okay.
And then I hear lately people fear, pregnancies than HIV. That's
Than
what I hear.
HIV.
It's weird stuff right there.
Do you think?
But
And you know, people are also getting quickies in toilets.
everywhere.
Do you think it's right? Martha, what do you have to say about this?
Let him pass about that.
No, literally, sex has become a hobby. You get, and that's the number one way of getting the virus.
Do you want to say that Africa, Uganda as a country, has lost its norms and values?
I wouldn't really say that.
The fact that they're having sex in
but
public.
technically,
But then, I would like to say, yes, we have lost our values because mostly in the teenagers, the teenagers are behaving more like Westerners than
young,
even
wild, and
Ugandans.
free.
That's it. I mean, you can find a kid of 15 who is more like a European or what, I don't even know, like an American. Zero African values at all. Zero African values.
A 15-year-old who has hooked up with more than the
Imagine
your body
us
count.
receiving sex tips of kids of a given school all the time. We are receiving sex tips of school children all the time.
Put me in that
What
group.
happened to those days? What happened to those days when a kid could see a brothel with hose around, and he's going out, reaching out to the hose, and the hose chase him, and they're like, "What do you want? I'm tova wano." Yeah, but these days we're just saying, "Nga malaya waliao omwana omuto najja namubuuza price n'akkiriza bulungi n'amugamba jangu tugende." Where's the dignity going?
We have to go back to the root causes of this. First of all, I think not zero, but little sex education.
Is this how much people have money to a point that they actually
mostly
accept the
it
kids
is
to do it?
cross-generational sex. That is it, number one for me. Cross-generational sex.
Do you want to say that people are trying to adapt to the urban culture?
I think
That's the basic point. People adopting the Western culture, bringing in cross-generational sex whereby old men are going in for the younger ones.
fresh blood.
Fresh blood. That's it.
You get, but also we also go back to the foundation. Back in the days when we used to go to school, like you would see graphical images of someone suffering from HIV/AIDS, and you'll be like, no, I have to take real good care of myself. And then we had organizations like TASO that was there to provide all this information.
They were this straight. Newspapers coming in all the time at schools.
When you talk about that, I do not agree at a point. Have you seen these guys that take cigarettes? Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, on the cigarette pack, you literally see someone coughing, coughing his lungs out.
Yeah.
The cigarette pack actually shows you that cancer kills, and the person remains taking
Bro,
it.
let me tell you.
So what is TASO going to do about that?
Let me tell you one thing.
If people already know about AIDS, they know AIDS
Do
kills.
you know what these guys will do? They'll make the cigarette for you and then draw a picture of lungs and tell you cigarette is harmful to your health. But then they won't draw something graphical that will make you question how harmful it is.
Yes.
You see,
They literally show the guy coughing.
That's light, bro. Someone coughing is
Where?
something light.
Yeah?
You can't even cough
On the
with flu.
cigarette that you see. Guys, haven't you seen the cigarette? The cigarette pack? The guy's literally like this.
Okay, what he's trying to say
what
is...
does that
That is light.
explain?
It actually shows that this guy is literally dying.
Can be a stomach pain.
Yeah.
Stomach pain?
We
Yeah,
have
even
no-
cough.
no.
I can
On
cough
the cigarette pack.
with a normal
Bro,
flu.
we would see people look boneless, meatless.
Boneless.
Like
That's
you
it.
would only see their skeleton.
Uh-huh.
I
You
thought,
would
the,
see people vomiting
I thought
blood.
the word cancer itself just scares everyone away.
Not to
'Cause
that
they literally
extent.
put the
Not to that
sickness
extent
there.
as HIV.
But literally, it will go back to the foundation. From the household to schools,
Yeah.
where these people spend most
Yeah.
times, and to the content they
Yeah.
are exposed to.
Yeah.
And then the cross-generational sex.
Hey, because I remember personally when I was in my primary school, there were these signposts all over the school compound.
All over the school compound.
A, B, C, D, abstain. What was the B for? What was it like A, B,
You're
C?
going to Canis. Yes, I remember something like
faithful. and
Be
then
faithful
use
to your partner,
condoms.
right? Be faithful to your partner.
use condoms.
And use condoms. But as a child, you have to abstain because you're a little kid.
But of course, they've given you through protective
Ways.
options.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Do you think the schools and the parents are the ones supposed to be blamed?
I think so.
not-
Definitely.
I think so because they're
training
saying,
their
Who else to
children
blame?
they're
into sex
saying
education.
70% of the young girls.
Yeah.
So which
The
means
young
these are
girls.
young girls
These
Yeah.
are young girls. So
who
we
need to
Guidance.
be exactly.
Yeah.
You get
Because you see, these days, you find that parents are very shy to talk about this is what I was telling my mom some time back. That there's some things you just don't hide away from kids. you may think you're hiding away things from them, but then when they grow, they're going to meet these things. And when they meet these things, they're going to get excited. The fact that they just got to meet the things, they're going to get excited. And the next thing you know, they fall in the ditch. So parents are kind of shy to tell their kids what sex really is. Yeah? Mm-hmm. They're really shy to tell what sex. But back in the days in the ATS, there used to be campfires.
It wasn't
where they
like
would
that.
sit down together as a group and talk about sex education. You find that a parent is free to tell their own kid that Omani, as uncles, in the paper I was studying, D4, we used to talk about these different things, sex education, the things that satisfy a lady and all that, yeah? But now these days, parents are shy to talk about these things. That's why you end up finding that the highest percentage of kids are the ones having HIV/AIDS. Reason being that the parents did not brief them into these things. Why? Because of their shyness.
But we should also look at the part where not all of these girls are exposed to AIDS because they've had sexual intercourse. Some people are born with it.
That is the smallest
That's a
percentage.
different
smallest
case.
percentage.
Now that's the smallest percentage. The highest percentage is
It's
they
people who are
contracted from.
contracting.
Well, what I'm thinking is, what could cause the highest increase in the number is the amount of exposure to the sex stuff,
Sex content.
sex content. Like back in the days,
Technology.
as kids, we couldn't access mobile phones, the internet. But hey, kid just logs in and then she can just access everything.
But honestly, we can't blame it on growth development. You get? We can't blame it on change of times. We have to blame it to the people who groom the kids. You see, once I have a friend in the US called Luzige. You know Luzige?
Yeah.
She has brothers and sisters who are younger. They have access to phones, but they also have limited access to what they can browse.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
You get?
Most parents maybe
You
don't
realize
know
even Netflix
how to
itself,
regulate.
when you open Netflix like so, the first content you see is sex content and LGBTQ content. But then there are settings where you can limit.
Yes, exactly.
Those are the things we deny.
Even
Don't
the
take away
socials,
the Netflix.
even the socials.
But go to parental guidance and change
Yeah.
those settings.
Change those settings. That's why.
Sure.
Even TikTok itself has settings where you can set guidelines for a kid. So we can't blame it on development
Yes.
or technology existence. It's just that the day we started saying that, you know what, you can easily live with AIDS, we lost the fight. Because we were like, you know what, it's okay, you can get
Now,
it, you can
I'm
live
thinking-
with
Are
it.
you guys
I'm
suggesting
thinking-
that exposure is what has caused the 70% of the population? The young
It's one of
girls
the
to have
causes,
We are
but
AIDS?
literally- we are
but,
literally-
Exposure.
We are
Yes.
literally dating the same girls with our fathers.
Yeah, but I'm saying what I'm saying is the methods that were used before were the methods by that time. Now in this current day situation of the kind of exposure,
Where does a parent get the time to sit down with a kid and talk about these things?
exactly, most of like he just said, regulate those internet services to the kids.
Bro, we have the Ministry of the Ministry of Health.
Yeah, and
You're a Snapchat user.
and education. Yeah,
You're a Snapchat user.
yeah.
How many times do you browse through those snaps and see an ad about the effects of HIV/AIDS or how to prevent HIV/AIDS or
That-
anything
that-
related
That's
to
what I'm
sex
saying.
education?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You
like-
scroll through TikTok. How many times do you see an ad or YouTube?
Yeah, because remember in the COVID times, everywhere I would be finding a disclaimer about like be caution about
Wear
COVID,
mask.
what.
We go to schools.
Keep
We go to
distance.
schools. Yeah.
Same things would be
These
used.
people would rather teach about how deadly malaria is and forget about how deadly HIV
is.
AIDS is.
I would say something small. I think the world has lost the sense of the fear of God in them, both parents, guardians, and children. Because if you have the fear of God, really, the Bible tells us to teach our kids in the way of the Lord. I'm telling you something. Me, when I was growing up, I'll give you a personal example. When I was growing up, okay, I'm not so old. I'm not of the 80s. I'm of the 90s.
How old are you?
I'm in my mid-20s. But when I was growing up, they used to tell us these things. I had fear. My sister, I'm not sorry to say, she gave me this example and it has worked for me. When she was growing up, she got pregnant when she was in her form 6 and gave birth. Okay? So she sat me down and told me, Martha, you're the youngest. you're the last born, and the moment you get pregnant, the rest of the world is looking at you. You might not get pregnant, but the moment you're in with a man. Myself, I don't know if I have AIDS. That's what she told me. But I'm pregnant. Of course, she knew she did not have AIDS, but she was trying to guide me in that way. Nangamba, the moment you're with a man, you're going to get pregnant and you're going to get HIV. So just know the world is looking at you. You understand? These words caught into my head until I grew up and finished campus.
That's when you go to the man.
And that's the kind of sensitization need to be.
You understand?
Put out there.
Because we know when a person is growing up, something that you feed them in their heads, it will catch in.
Yeah.
You know how kids can be.
Yeah.
You know? Anything you tell them can always catch in. You sit with your children. Leave alone internet nyingi. Okay, if we have people out there, people that can really talk about sex, these sengers, they're everywhere on social media.
Then
Let the auntie
Bari.
banaba social
Just
media
bari
baberaonga abakozi ba sente. Then there can be people like that abasolo tula ne bogera ebigambo webityo to these kids, to these girls.
Singers are only teaching how girls can scream
Yes.
in bed.
But we need different people.
Rather than actually telling them the exact
Yes.
Because
thing.
that's another
Telling them
thing.
the exact
That's another
thing.
thing.
But they're telling them what they want to hear.
To hear, yeah.
No,
Which is
ebyo
really
babigamba
bad.
mwe abakulu, not the kids.
Blood. Basenga bali ku TikTok obogere.
So you have to make sure the kids don't access the singers.
So my point is people have lost the sense of the fear of God in them. Because a parent, you would sit down if you want to see your child different in this world. Sit your child down. No, even the Muslims. I'm not talking about the Christian, Bible alone. But even the Muslims. I have friends that I've grown with. They're like, my mother sits me down. Says we have surahs in our Quran that says this and this. Teach your children the ways of the Lord. You people, these children can grow. However much they're exposed to because I grew up, I was exposed. I had friends that were very stubborn. They were so wild, skip school, run out of school, go club and do this. Some of them are sick, some of them are dead. But I caught it. Tell it to your child. They will catch it. They will know what to do. Okay, again, they'll do whatever they do. Maybe first a man, this person does not have protection. They'll be like, I can't sleep with you without protection. It is not guaranteed that with protection you cannot get AIDS, but at least they'll have that cautiousness. Okay, Bwabanga mu week, a girl can have maybe 3 guys. She'll be like, okay, I'll go with one. Because I don't know where the other one goes. I might get AIDS. You understand? There's always some cautiousness that knocks them. So if you sit them down and talk to them, we will not be exposed to these men. Also, our parents, people that are ahead of these young girls, we should love these girls. Sometimes girls fall into temptations that lead to AIDS because of love. Because in Africa, we live in societies where a girl would be abused. Like you start abusing a woman, maybe your mother, your auntie, abuse you, you're so ugly, you're so that. Then I'll go find it with a man.
In the ETS, that was the punishment for the girls. If she was found pregnant, the singer would abuse the girl.
Which was really bad. Right now you abuse a girl and then they'll find that they'll go to Bukachimi regardless he's sick, but at least he can tell a girl a very sweet word and then
validate her beauty.
you
so
feel,
she finds
then
a sense
feel
of belonging.
a sense of belonging, and so we should really learn to love. Also, you love her. We should these things really look small, but they actually matter so much.
And also, the pace at which iPhone is releasing phones is worrying.
iPhone, no.
It's also contributing.
It's very worrying.
iPhone refuse. Parents, bring back Nokias.
Because I remember in school, we used to list up these points, causes of high spread of AIDS. We'll be like, mango.
Exactly.
I know.
And now you see, a lot of young girls are getting into campus. They're getting done with high school, getting into campus, young girls. And then that is a time. Because I have a friend who has very strict parents. She just joined KIU.
Oh my God.
And now she's partying like crazy.
Because I'm not expert now. Book it.
Because they told her once you get to campus, you'll have your freedom.
Yeah.
So now she's using her freedom.
Excitement.
Then she'll get to friends who are more exposed to that world.
Yeah.
And she would want to be with them. She would want to fit
She
in.
would want to adopt their
You
behavior.
get?
Yep.
I've had friends who have slept over at guys' places.
So
Ngatabamanyi na
that's
kubanga.
something.
So do you really don't you really think if a person has really a small fear of God in them, they would control themselves in this modern day world?
They would.
Jimmy, I'm a girl. I'm talking out of an experience. I have grown. I've grown, got exposure already. I've seen all this nice stuff. I've been with cool people, cool guys, cool dudes. But I've always limited myself.
Because of the fear of the Lord?
Because of the fear of the Lord. Because of the words that were told to me. And they haunt me down.
You see, Martha, I'll put this straight up to you. You've had the foundation of God from day one. And you go to church every Sunday.
No,
You've had your pastors take care of you. You get all the time. You've had people from the church look at you as their daughter. That is very different.
Jimmy, not really. I don't go to church every day. I don't have the pastors look at me every day. It is up to you, a person. If you go to church or if you go to a mosque and you listen to your
she has
leaders,
a constant reminder.
Not really. Not really.
What
she's trying to say
Not
is-
really.
what she's trying to say
Just a
is-
small thing like a seed in you they put in you.
Yeah.
With just a word can
will-
really work in your life. It is you to
to
decide.
germinate through you.
I decided that to happen.
Martha, I feel like at a certain point, parents, this is what I tell my mom at times. We have, as parents, they have to be free with their kids because it all starts from their kids, yeah? You know how parents can all be like, the more into education, the more into, show me your results, what have you done, what have you brought out of school fees, but they do not actually get the time to have the free interaction with their kids and tell them, hey, can you tell me who your girlfriend is? Just feel free. Feel free to tell me who your girlfriend is so I can know. Introduce me to her. Yeah? You may not specifically tell the kid, hey, I don't want you the girlfriend. Because the moment you start saying that, then the kid is just going to start hiding each and everything from you.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, AIDS. Yeah. And it's a surprise to you. But the fact that you're free to them and you're actually explaining to them each and everything you want to know their girlfriend, you want to know. I mean, get some time with your kid. Take the kid out for a cup of tea. Have a normal discussion. It may not be education, but it can just be a normal discussion. Get to know who their girlfriend is. Guys, parents, we should not stand into the world of thinking that kids are supposed to be, you need to tell them exactly what you want them to do. Because kids have their thoughts too.
Exactly.
You need to get to know.
and
if you
mostly
want to
kids of
control your
nowadays-
kid, then you actually need to get to know their routine. And how we're going to know their routine? You have
Befriend
to
them.
befriend them. Not being a parent, but just befriend them and get to know everything about them. This is actually where at times the whites beat us at times.
Yeah.
They're way through with their kids.
Because I know white would just sell a kid like, you're grounded from a cell phone. The kid will just put it down, not even canes. Like that's the kind of nurturing.
Grounded from, man, how are you going to help a kid? You're grounded from a cell phone. You're taking the cell phone away from the kid. And the next thing, one thing you should know this generation is like they think first.
Very fast.
You're going to take the phone away from them and they're going to sneak in another phone.
Bruh.
Which you don't know about. And that's actually the worst mistake you can ever make.
Bruh,
Major point, I think, first of all, is cross-generational sex. And this comes with the fact that the little kids want to get good things at an early stage.
Hey, sir, some of us don't understand the meaning of cross-generational sex.
Okay, cross-generational sex is more like a person of another person having sex with a person of the younger generation. Let's say a man of 50 years engaging with someone of 19 years or 18 or 17 or that kind of.
owekyase ekisooka okwegadanga n'owekyase ekyokubiri.
Kwegadanga, it's what we had night again. So I think because we all know, first of all, AIDS happened. I mean, the breakup of AIDS was in that early stage of 90s and 80s. So we believe men of those days have more AIDS than men of these days. Or adults of those days. So if you happen to maybe engage with this same person and you're a child, like of maybe 18 years, there is a risk of you getting that same thing because it was with them initially. So that's the thing. We should try to avoid this kind of cross-generational sex. And you know what mostly brings it up is children want to get good things at an early stage. You find a child of 18 yearning to possess an iPhone 15, something of 5M or 6M. I mean, take
And
your
yet they
time.
can't
If you see
earn
me
it.
with it, I'm not of your age. I've worked through something to
Yeah.
earn it. I mean, take your time, study, be there because we were there before. We took the baby steps to get everything. So nothing should move you as a child. Take your time, do what you have to do in that time. Study if you're studying or you're working, we work. You have anything at a given time because everything come your way.
You know, sir, one of the problems kids have these days is they want to be like someone or they want to be like something, but they do not know the process that someone took to reach where they are right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see like it could be like watching a TV screen, they'll be like, I want to be like Shiba. She wants heels, Shiba just wants, but Shiba is a national star.
Actually,
course,
no,
but
the
of
process she took to reach
who
there.
you want to be like, you're following their lifestyle
Yeah.
and what they're saying,
Yeah.
you're getting attracted to that.
Yeah.
And the path to get to there, you don't know how they got there, the hard work they put in.
Yeah.
But for you, just want to jump from stair one
Yeah.
to the last stair where they are.
Yeah.
You get, which kills it. And also the hardest bit of it is when it comes back to parenting, it's now lately kids are being parented by TV screens
Yes, sir. I hear.
and the social media.
Yeah,
You see a kid, of course, the mother or father has a hustle. They have to look for money, so they'll leave the house at 7, come back at 8 or 9 or 7, very tired,
Yeah.
go and sleep, no time for the kid, and the kid is exposed to all this content.
And once the kid knows your routine, that's where the problem
Exactly.
is.
But I think it goes back to the schools as well. You as an educational institution, take your children through these steps. I remember in our schools, there used to be like guidance and counseling programs.
We
maybe
had
after
something
school.
called a senior woman
That's what I was
Yeah.
about
and
to
a
say.
senior man.
That's what I was about to say. We were raised by the community.
Yeah.
You leave your father's house, you find someone else at school who's going
Yeah.
to nurture you.
Yeah.
You leave the school, you find someone else in the community to raise you. You get, we were raised by the community.
Yes.
Today, it doesn't happen. Back in where I went to school, we had the Young Christian Society, we had the Rotary Club, we had the science something club.
Science club.
You get-
I've just talked about the the straight talk Africa. Man, that was the thing.
It was.
There was
was-
sensitization
yes.
about AIDS all the time.
All the time.
Newspapers
These
coming in,
days,
talk.
and they
these
would
days, chalaba straight talk.
yeah, they would
Chimani,
just
we
read
used
like
to
Where
go-
again? That one nice
We
straight
used to
talk.
go to
Nari
different
musomanyo.
schools.
I know, and you would get scared.
I know.
You see a
Straight talk.
student from a certain school that you
I
know.
know.
Do you know how much it's worrying? How much it's worrying? Right now, you go on TikTok and you find a young boy talking about sex. And the parents are okay to like get that clip and put it because they want the kid to go viral.
Content creator.
Content
You're
creation.
creating content, exposing this kid, freely talking about sex, freely talking about looking for money to take care of his woman. But a young kid, in the context of just going viral. You get. So lately, whatever you see is about sex.
And then sex is now more taken off as a hobby than
It's
even
a hobby.
as even more than even
It's a
something
hobby.
to do with marriage or what, because this is something spiritual, something not usual, but lately it's very, very
Most people take it as something.
don't
never
understand
mind.
it's a
This is
spiritual
A
thing.
bonding that is spiritual.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, kids just want to make out anywhere, anyhow.
But then we are talking about what could be the causes of the cause of this high percentage.
Lack of
What
sensitization.
could be the possible solution to drop this number? Because back a few years ago, we were winning at this fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are talking about this because we
did you
believe
see the
that
number of
generation that
articles that
won.
we used to get from Straight Talk?
Yeah.
Yes.
These days, I totally no longer see Straight Talk in the papers.
We don't even have counselors in schools. Like literally, people are complaining about the education system. And then it changes and it brings a totally different structure.
Different schemes.
You get. And then they kick out all
And then
these programs and clubs.
Lately, I hear schools even provide platforms to help these kids have this kind of actions. Because imagine for our schools now, you wouldn't even have that kind of kadanke to up to 7 p.m. 5 p.m. you're done. Go to your
know.
dormitories.
Go to your
I hear now schools dance up to like 10 p.m.
Exactly.
What happens in the
Midnight.
darkness?
Midnight.
Just imagine.
Kids are in school and they're expecting
Imagine the kids having prom parties at a hotel thing, like even a hotel.
I know.
So what happens there?
Man, it is a fight, a long fight we are on, but we need to support the people the people with HIV/AIDS.
Yeah.
We need to give them support. We need to give them a shoulder. we need to tell them, you know what, this is not the end of the road.
Yeah.
We got you. The positives and the negatives need to coexist.
Okay, have you heard of a situation where, I've heard of a story where a girl actually realized that she had AIDS, then she decided to infect each and everyone she'd come by.
I have not met that
Each
person,
and every boy.
but I've
She'd
read
actually
about
list them down.
and I've seen people. There's a lady
of hate.
in UAE who joked about this, and it felt like it's okay. She was like, you know what? I have HIV AIDS. I messed with this one. I messed with this one. I messed with this one. Go and check yourselves because I infected you, and I'm ready to infect more.
So this still goes to people. Be faithful to your partner. Because I believe if you're a teenager of 19, you are a bit old enough to maybe have
Date
that.
someone.
Yeah. So be faithful to that partner and then carry out these regular tests, like at least like every other 2 months. Check out with your partner.
Okay.
to
Now
find
let
out.
us paint a scenario where this girl is innocent, faithful to the partner, and the partner is not faithful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just talking about like both of you be faithful to each other.
And this girl actually
No
trusts
one-sided.
the
It's
partner
both.
with all
Yeah,
their
both
heart.
of you. Be faithful to each other. It's not one-sided, not even girls or boys. But once you're having a partner, be faithful to each other and then have these regular tests, like at least periodically, like at least maybe set yourselves, maybe like once in a month. The tests are free. You can just buy these kits.
And also, if you find out that you have HIV/AIDS, it's not the end of the world. Seek for counseling.
Counseling.
Seek for counseling.
People
And
have
seek for
lived.
help.
People have lived with
It's
For
it.
everywhere.
years, actually.
It's
Yeah.
everywhere.
They look healthy and good.
May I know someone who is a relative and a linear relative who has lived longer and longer with HIV without even the neighborhood knowing that they have it?
But how do you think we can stop desperation in the youth? Because boys and girls are too desperate.
Desperation, first of all, comes with, I think I talked about, people wanting good things at an early stage.
It's like, how can we really stop? Because
I think
that is one of the things that is bringing in
I think,
the cause of
Martha,
HIV.
I think first, I'll talk about religion.
Yeah.
Very good. Parents have the responsibility of imparting religion in their children so that they can know where their stand is in life. As a Christian, I'm not supposed to do this. As a Christian, I'm supposed to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then second, we have abstinence. Abstaining.
ABC.
ABC.
He's
A,
talking
B,
about abstaining.
Still the same method.
Abstinence. If you cannot abstain, then endeavor to treasure. You know, most youths do not treasure their lives.
don't.
Yesterday, I was talking to one of my friends and they were saying, hey man, aren't you going to hit the concert of Shiba and Cindy? I'm like, bro, I would love to hit the concert. But the thing is, first of all, I'm in school and I need my phone for different kinds of things. I had different projects I had to run. I work at the same time. Now, I actually picture myself going to that concert and my phone is stolen.
No.
Yeah. So I'm actually trying to treasure my life first before I head out to these things. Now, one thing I'd advise the youths out there, before you actually carry out something, I need you to treasure your life first. Yeah. Think about yourself. You're going to push out with this sugar daddy. Yeah, this sugar daddy has a lot of cash they can spend on you. You're going to get the iPhone 15, the latest phone, the latest car. But
The
then
Samsung Fold.
what? Have you taken the step to actually go to the hospital to make a checkup on this guy that you're actually trying to pull out? Or have you actually endeavored to take a step of saying that this guy is protected before you engage in any activity?
And desperation shouldn't come at the cost of your life. At the cost of your life, you get. And also there are scenarios that, I mean, stories we've had from friends where they're like, you know what, I've chewed a lot of this guy's money. I'll swallow pep. Okay, because now you know you've chewed a lot, you have to give in the end. But you already
Returning
know
the
there
favor.
is a tab that will help.
But you know, at a certain point, pep has an effect
Exactly.
on the body.
And also, I think the youth...
At times, I think the hospital, the people in the medical section they have to be blamed at the same time.
we need to understand that in the
'Cause
end,
why in the
this
first
is a
place are
business.
they?
Because you ain't getting the pep for free.
Yeah.
imagine now lately, because of, the amendment of some acts by the president, we are not even receiving ARVs.
Are you for it? I didn't know about that one.
They cut.
Sure.
I don't know whether they cut completely or we ain't receiving, but that was because of the amendment of the bill. You see, then how do you deny these people?
That's not right there, but
Should I tell you one funny thing about this bouquet? Is that these days, if you see most of the young girls, is that they do not mind. You've actually talked about AIDS right now. They actually do not mind about it. All they have in mind
By
is
the way,
because I know
can I
about
take family control, the planning method, so I don't get pregnant?
Because
that's
I know
the one thing in
I
their
know
mind.
I know some girls would mostly nowadays they are like I hate the rubbers. I just want it to.
I know.
but
like,
bro, it's not just about the girls. Even the guys are giving in to sex for money.
Yes, they
Sure.
Yeah.
Guys are giving in
Why?
to sex for
We were
money.
forgetting the major key, prostitution.
And these people, they're getting it from people who are positive. I'm not saying everyone is positive.
Do you want to say that our country has lost dignity among the youth?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, for sure.
We should really admit
Well,
that.
the youth have low self-esteem to the point that they're just giving their bodies for little things.
Who is to blame, the youth or the people that raise the youth?
Definitely, you only blame the one who raised them because it starts from the foundation, the grounds you lay for the children to grow up, how you nurture. Because we were there before and we don't belong to the older generation. We are just recent. If
Yes.
you're talking about these things, we know how it went through with us. That's why we're talking about it.
I think we should also stop playing the blame game. Yeah?
Yeah.
And provide spaces of healing. That is one. Because some people are into this because one could have been raped. And then that hate
Yeah.
is taken on to everyone. That trauma. So we should create space, healing space. That is one. Two, we should now tell these youths that, or the teenagers, that you know what? Instead of spending the time on your phone, you could go play soccer. You could go socialize. I have a guy, we play with football some days. Guy told me, you know what? I used to my wife is in the UAE working, but then I used to engage into a lot of sex activities because she's not here. But ever since I started playing football, I don't even have time.
Took him off.
From work.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that, and I don't mind.
It's a devil's workshop.
That's it. So
It is.
please try to do a lot of social activity, a lot of social engagements, other than being on your phone in your room, because this calls up for a lot of things.
Yes, and also we call out the government to empower TASO, to empower organizations like Reach a Hand.
Sensitization.
You get to reach out to the young positives.
On social medias,
We need the young
especially.
positives to come and speak to the young negatives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell them the disadvantages and how to prevent this and how to fight this.
Me, I'm still questioning, why did straight talk go?
I mean,
Well, wherever straight talk went, we don't care about that. We need another straight talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's it. So we still call upon sensitization. Sexual education is key, major key, because once you sensitize these people about these things, no one is going to mess up, because we were there before and we were sensitized. So went through the right way. I remember when we were growing up, like this, you know, be like, I can't have sex until they told me, like, until I'm finished with schooling. And that's the right time of you schooling and being in that infantry age. So when you're done with schooling, your mind is up there to define what is right and what is wrong.
And the day we will understand that sex is spiritual, we will choose who to fuck.
Oh God. I would say something last year with me that to the youth out there, you are wise, you are very wise, but remember, everyone else that caught AIDS was wise. Wiser than you think you are.
Yeah.
But they reached that point where they were captured in that bubble, and their glory is now, I don't know. So you, as you are being wise, remember, everyone else in this world is wise. As you think you're playing games, everyone else in this world is playing games. So be wise, but be cautious. Remember, you have a life to live. Remember, you want that Porsche car. Remember, you have that phone. It can be stolen. Remember
family.
your life. Think if you have people around you, think of those people when you die. They're going to feel so bad. Remember the people you're going to burden when you're sick. Remember how you're going to feel insecure, like people are talking about you when you get sick.
Word.
Of all those things, be wise, but be cautious. With your
Preaching
wisdom.
good, mother. Preaching
So what she's
good.
trying to say, nothing materialistic can match your healthy, please.
All right. Hey, you're back to the Kings and Queens talk show. You know what it is. It's always conversation after conversation, man. I don't know if this conversation can end. I think this conversation can last the whole night. Hey, so today we're talking about 70% of the young girls have HIV/AIDS. Hey, what do you think about this? Can you please drop that comment down right there where you just see that comment section? Just drop that comment right there. We can get a chance to invite you to the show so you can give us what you think in mind. You know what it is. Hey, don't forget to just click that subscribe button, the like button too. Hey, and don't forget to spread the word. Send that link to each and everybody. You know what it is. Hey, so right about now, I'm going to give this chance to the queens, the beautiful queens and kings to drop their links so you can know where to find them. Hey, don't forget, we have a queen in the house, but the queen ain't single.
She's
Don't mess around.
singular.
She's singular. She's singular. I'm going to give a chance to Martha. Hey, give a shout out to your viewers.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We really love you. This is Martha Chito, Instagram Martha Chito, TikTok Martha Chito, YouTube Martha Chito, and mobile money.
The mobile money gyalis.
All right about now, I'm going to drop to the other side. This time, I'm going to hit the left side. Let me start with Bukanos.
Everyone, thanks for supporting this podcast. And it's been an emotional topic and a worrying topic. But regardless, we, for God and my country, and we hope for the best. And we call upon the Ministry of Health to come and support in the fight. We call upon the President of Uganda to consider supporting organizations that are fighting this. And also we call upon the young positives to work closely with the young negatives to fight this. And also let us not isolate these people with HIV. Like, I mean, you're not going, rubbing shoulders doesn't mean you're going to get it. No, let us work together. Let us become one community and let us understand the effects of this and how we can fight it. I remain Bukachimi everywhere. Thanks so much, man.
Yes, sir. All right. On my left side, on my right side, actually. My right side, I got the man.
It's been a pleasure being here. Thank you for watching us all the time. We appreciate a lot. But still, ABC is one way to go. If you can, please abstain. If you can't, and you have that one partner, be faithful to them. And then if you cannot, please, it's not safe until it's on.
Sure.
Summer Wonder, all the way, everywhere, Sweet Gangster, find me,
Sweet
tap
Gangster,
in, find thing. Let's grow.
Yes, sir. I'm your host today. Kev Kelly is the name. You can find me on my Instagram, The Kev Kelly. Find me on my Facebook, The Kev Kelly. My YouTube channel, The Kev Kelly. Hey, don't forget, please, take caution of your life. Your life holds meaning and it holds gravity. Your life actually changes other people's lives. So all the young youths that are outside there, please take your time to treasure your life as the first priority in everything that you do. So if you can't abstain, then just let it go. Yeah, let it go. Because, hey, your future is way too bright to ruin that way. Hey, so again, we are the Kings and Queens Talk Show. I'm going to give a peace out and have a good